Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Practice Gratitude Success Show. And today I have, as always, I have a very special guest. But before I do that, let me say welcome to everybody who's here over on the sidelines. Welcome to call. Thank you for coming in here today, Chris. Great to see you, Len, from up there, from up skiing up north in Northern California. Thank you for coming. People are coming in right now. As we're talking, and like you, it's like kind of like church in a way. You know, never people aren't ever right there like when it first starts. They always come in like a little bit after. But anyways, thank you for coming. I really appreciate it. And I've got a good friend of mine up here today, Rick Johnson. Now, Rick's got an amazing story. Rick was actually paralyzed. He was born with cerebral palsy, became a truck driver, and then his cerebral palsy got so bad that he wasn't able to work anymore. So he was kind of like thrust into entrepreneurship, which is, probably a little bit different than most people because, being thrown into it medically. Some people, when a medical thing happens, they get thrust out of their thing, and he did, but he got thrust into something else. So, anyways, he's gonna share that story and some other cool things too. And well, Rick, welcome and thank you so much for coming here today. I really appreciate that.
Well, thank you. I enjoy your show. I'm glad to be a guest on here. I'm very proud to be it. So, yeah, I love it.
And this is kind of a tough act to follow because just yesterday we had Daniel Wenninger on here, and to get a guy like Daniel Wenninger, I don't even have to speak. I just let him go. So he was like Rick's warm up act.
There you go. That's good. Yeah, he was good. I enjoyed the show watching him.
It was great. And so Rick, tell us about. Let's go back to the very beginning. You said you were born with cerebral palsy.
Yes, correct. It's a birth defect when you're born without enough oxygen during the birthing. So, yes, I have a mild case of cerebral palsy.
And then what you said it progressed to where like because then you said you became a truck driver, right?
Yeah, for most of my early adult life, I was a truck driver, and I enjoyed the job. I really did. I did local riding around the Chicago area, maybe a little bit into Indiana, but for some reason, and the doctors don't know why, the condition worsened and worsened and worsened. Then it was just wasn't plausible for me to work a traditional job anymore. It was just too difficult.
Was it like because like were you able to not able to shift or was that you probably drive? What kind of a truck were you driving?
I drove dump trucks and lugger trucks. It wasn't really that I couldn't shift. It's just people don't realize how physical truck driving is. You have to get on the back of the trucks and put chains on and, lift trailers and stuff like that. It's a pretty demanding job. So and it was hard for me to do the paperwork and stuff like that. But for the most part, it was too dangerous to walk around on top of the trucks and stuff like that and, adjust loads and stuff like that.
Yeah, my brother he's got a dump truck business. He's got like a backhoe and graders and
Mhm.
things like that. We were in the landscaping business together, and then he went in that direction, and I went to a different direction that wasn't quite. But no,
Yeah,
yeah, I
I'm,
understand it.
I'm sorry. Yeah,
And
I
plus,
enjoyed the job. It was a lot of fun. It was just like I said, it became too physical, and my condition it didn't worse. It didn't worsen like it all together. It took a couple of years for some reason. It just got a little worse, and it was my condition was mild enough to where I could function in society, without very little trouble. I walked with a little bit of a limp, had real bad balance and stuff. But it just became too hard to jump on the back of the truck and lift chains up and stuff like that. So I just had to move on.
right. So then, what did you do then? What happened? That was back what 1999 when that happened when you retired.
Yeah, correct. It for some reason worsened. And what I'm discovering now, because I'm into this organic stuff, is basically I just wasn't eating right and I wasn't taking care of my mindset, and it escalated worse and worse. And then in 2009, for some unknown reason, my opinion is that my mindset was so bad that it just took me out of commission and I was completely paralyzed. Um, I was in rehab for 6 months. I had to relearn how to talk and do
Wow,
everything. I couldn't function at all.
wow, holy mackerel, gosh.
And that's how powerful your mindset is. So be aware of what your thoughts are, because if you're not in a gratitude um, mindset, it will take your body out, because your body will suffer from stress like that. And so, yeah.
They, yeah, they say stress is probably the leading cause of all those problems. I mean,
It is.
cancers, heart attacks, strokes, because you're always thinking, you're focusing on something that's bad. So the old law of attraction, and in display right there, because you're always, instead of focusing on the wonderful things, the blessings that are coming your way, you're focusing on the past. Usually, right? Were you
Yeah,
focusing on
yeah.
something that happened in the past?
Well, evidently I was. At the time, I thought I was doing all right. Excuse me. Thought I was doing all right, but evidently something was in my subconscious was, I think it was because I wasn't working. I felt that I wasn't being productive in society. That's my guess. I mean, I really don't know, because as soon as I was paralyzed, I instantly got a different mindset. I went, this ain't gonna happen to me. And I was when I was going through rehab, they were amazed because I always wanted to do more rehab, and they kept going, no, you got to rest, you got to do your, you can't do it on the weekends and stuff like that. But I was like, I was so gung ho. And then I went to this adult living facility, and I was there for 2 months, and this is why, because the place was horrible. People's mindset was just terrible. So they had a full gym down there. Every day I went to the gym, and then I would go to the stairs. I would put my wheelchair in the stairs, and I would walk the stairs with the handrails, and I would do that every day. And with 2 months, I was able to get out of the adult living facility and got my own apartment. Even though I couldn't really still function, I was just determined I wasn't gonna have this condition bring me down. So that's that, because I started reading books and listening to videos that you have to feed your mindset positive stuff all the time, and that's what I did, and that's how I started getting better.
Amazing. What kind of books and stuff were you listening to, Rick?
I was listening to all the stuff that most entrepreneurs listen to. I listened to read The Magic of Thinking Big, of course, Think and Grow Rich, and Robert Kiyosaki, and all those books like that, and Cybergenics, I think it's called, and basically
Yeah,
basically all the books that most entrepreneurs listen to.
personal development books.
Correct.
Start thinking,
And
start thinking of things that you can do and start
yeah.
possibilities, huh?
And then my friend bought me a computer, and I was like, you know what? I started listening to books on tape on YouTube, and so now it's part of my regimen. I try to listen to a half hour of audio to an hour. And to be honest, I don't like to read, but I force myself to read, and it's made a big difference in my life.
It's amazing, isn't it? When you can just tap into things like that. Excuse me, I'm dying now too. You know what they always say? You said we are like around the sum total of the 5 people we hang around with the most. Now, if you're hanging around a place like an adult living facility, you probably don't have like a lot of role models and people that you can like really like hang around with that are success driven, do you?
No, it was really a culture shock, because it was people. They were so well. First of all, I had no freedom. I had to eat when they wanted me to eat, and they would do inspections on my room and stuff like that. And plus, I was just stuck in there because I couldn't do nothing. I was in a motorized wheelchair, and it was awful. The mindset was terrible. Everybody was fighting for their own survival, and it was just terrible. And I knew I had to get out of there in a hurry.
Yeah, so that's so cool that you took those steps. When you're telling a story, I was playing. I was thinking of Jax. I was thinking of the Rocky theme song in the background. I was like, oh, go Rick, go get up
Yeah,
those stairs.
yeah, it was like that because I didn't qualify for more therapy because the state wouldn't take care of it. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to go down to this gym. I get off the wheelchair and I get on the what do they call it? The walking machine. I walked for 10, 15 minutes, and I lifted weights, and I did the handrail thing. I could barely do it, but I was like, you know what? I'm not staying here. So I was like, I gotta get out of here. So that's what I did. And I made arrangements with an old apartment I used to live in when I was in my early 20s, and I came back in this area. I was like, you know what? I could barely get off the toilet seat, but I'm not staying in this place. So that's why I moved on.
Oh, that's awesome. That's cool. I mean, it's cool that at least you're able to go to to go to the gym. Like
Yeah,
at
yeah,
least that was available to
yeah.
you to be able to get there.
Yeah, it was in the basement. I lived in an old hotel, is what it was. It was converted, and it was it had full facilities. It was nice, but it just wasn't nice enough for me. I had to get around. Plus, I lived about an hour from all my friends. I was like, you know what? I got to get back to the area.
They're probably not coming to visit you very often when you're in a place like that, were they?
No, just one of my friends came up a couple times, and for the most part, everybody, they moved me there, and then they, it was too far away.
They kind of forget about you when you go to a place like that. So that's so cool that you're able to get out of there and then move back. So then what happened then? So when you got back there, so now you're living on your own. You got back in. How could you afford even to go there at that point?
Well, I was living on state assistance, and it was just $1,000 a month, and I was able to make it work. And at the time, I was able to eat all organic and stuff, so I was living pretty good, um, you know, for what I had. And luckily, I have very good friends, and they've taken care of me. They've helped me with cars and stuff like that. So it's been I have very good, generous friends.
It's so important to have really good friends like that to hang around with. And that's the thing, like you're saying, you don't have those role models, those people around you when you're in a place like that. But yet you can still tune in to do that, like with YouTube or books and tapes and videos. They can be your five people, the people you
Sure,
think
sure.
listen to them. And that's what.
Absolutely. It makes a big difference on what you put in your mind. About a year ago, I stopped watching TV. I don't watch any news. Um, People always ask me, "What do you think it is?" I go, "Unless it's on my Facebook feed, I don't see it. I have no idea what's going on."
Right.
So,
Yeah. And I'm the same way. I stay away from TV, and you will get the upper right hand corner. You'll get the little Facebook stuff. You'll hear about the latest explosion or terrorist attack. It's hard to
yeah,
stay away from it totally. It's still going to
yeah,
come. But yeah,
makes a
but
big difference. So what it makes a big difference on what you feed your mind. Big difference.
it does.
Even music. Even looking at areas. If you're around poor areas, you get that mindset because it's in there. Subconsciously, you drive around and you see the empty Burger King and stuff, and you're thinking, "Wow, this is horrible." And so that's why you have to get rid of that stuff all the time.
I know, and it's so cool. I shared some of the things that you posted yesterday. You posted a thing about the water, about the fluoride. I think it was a couple of
Sure.
days ago, but I just posted. I shared it yesterday, and it's like here I am in San Diego. You think it's a real health conscious place because it is. You see people around there; they're usually generally healthy. They're rollerblading and jogging and doing things like that. But just a couple of years ago, they started adding fluoride to the water. I was like, well, what's up with that? Why are they adding fluoride to the water? I mean, the old excuse of well, it's better for your teeth. That's bull. That
Mhm.
that's I'm sorry if there's any dentists out here that's saying hey man, you're wrong. No, you're wrong because I know this stuff is poison, and they've been feeding us that crap for years. We're all thinking, hey, put more fluoride in. Why does it say it's poison? Why is that the number to call the poison control center if you have too much of the toothpaste? You know what I mean? It's not good for you to have that stuff, and it's so cool. Like the group that we're in this little syndication group where you post and a lot of other people are posting stuff, and then we read that and we share that information. And it's just like you said, it's just feeding us with more information about just being aware. It's being aware of what we've been putting in our bodies and stuff, and that's so cool. I appreciate everything that you're doing, Rick. I really do because you share a lot of great stuff.
Well, you know what? When I was paralyzed, I decided to take control of my life, and what I did is I started reading books about health and stuff like that. So I've learned a lot about how the body works, and just like the mind, you have to feed your body nutrition because every avenue you take in normal society, and at least in America, there's just poison in everything. Everything in your house is poison, and you have to learn how to like you feed your mind. You have to learn how to, like, I mean, the carpet in your room, the paint in your room, the wood in your room, it's all toxic. So if you get plants to absorb those toxicities, it helps. And every little thing you do helps your body take control of that stuff, and that all works on your mindset too, because if your body isn't feeling good, it makes your mindset worse. So it kind of goes hand in hand together.
Exactly. Like if you start and eat like a bunch of like chocolate or something like that, it'll taste real good. Oh, this tastes good, but then a few minutes later you go like, what did I just do?
Well, it's the simple things that you don't think about. It's the sandwich bag that you put your sandwich in, and you leave it in your office refrigerator. That leaks PCBs, I think that's what it is, into your food. It's all this little, it's all like the receipts you get from Dominic's or Jewel or the grocery stores. Those have toxins, and so when you
Mm.
get it on your hand, they're absorbing in your hand. So it's hard to stay away from it. But if you try your best, you could improve your quality of your life dramatically if you do just simple things.
Yeah, yeah, we're not all gonna go from 0 to 10 just like that.
Mhm.
But if we become aware of things, then we just
Mhm.
start moving away from bad things and start moving
Mhm.
towards better things.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, like I said, everything that's made of plastic, that's thin, it's leaks chemicals in your body. And you think about it, you get your water in plastic, everything comes in plastic. And it's like the reason bacon is so bad for you is because it's such a fatty food that when they put it in a plastic, it absorbs all the chemicals in there. And it's just astronomical.
Wow. Now, did you see the one? I don't know if maybe if you posted that in the syndication group, but it was about the spoons and forks that the throwaway ones they have over in India. Did you see that one? Did you post that?
No, no, I'm not familiar with that one.
Okay, it was a guy in India. Come up, he made this invention. The little disposable knives and forks and spoons that you have like whenever you buy something from takeout, and there's like how
Sure.
millions or like probably billions of these things are just discarded and thrown
Yeah.
away.
Yeah.
It's a little plastic thing. Well, what this guy he invented these edible utensils. They're
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
made, they're made of millet, and when you're done with them, you can eat them. If you don't eat them, you can get rid of them, and they're gonna biodegrade within a couple of days.
I did put an article about something, a biodegradable plastic, but I don't remember if it was about spoons or something like that. But I did, yeah, I did put something up there. There was some people from Asia that invented something. But yeah, I mean, if people knew how much garbage they put in their body just inadvertently, they would be amazed at why they feel so bad. And that's one of the big mysteries about people can't lose weight. It's not because they're not eating well. It's because there's so much toxicity in their body from everyday use. So, I mean, like I said, you're breathing in toxic in your house, from carpet and even wood paneling and stuff. It's just so if they would learn to get rid of the toxicity, they would lose more weight and feel better.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. Well, if somebody came like right now and said, Rick, like I'm overweight, I feel horrible, but I don't really know where to start this because sometimes all this stuff can be a little overwhelming with everything, the cost of the organics
Mhm.
and stuff. What would you tell somebody?
Well, the first thing they'd have to do is do a cleanse because they'd have to clear the body because the body isn't running efficiently. So if you put organic food in there and the toxicities in there, it's gonna it's going to all put the balance of the nutrition from the food. So they definitely you need to do a full body cleanse and you have to do a candida cleanse because every food in America has antibiotics in it, which messes up the flora in your stomach. So you have to do a candida cleanse. And candida is a toxic mold that lives in your stomach and takes over all the good probiotics. And that's why you can't absorb the food. So if you do a candida cleanse, it allows your body to run a little more efficiency. And then I would work on the mind because you have to overcome these beliefs that you can't do. So I think mindset and cleansing your body would be the first things I would suggest if you were overweight.
How do people do a candida cleanse?
You can buy them off the internet or go to the local health food store. The ones at the health food store only do it to a certain level. They don't go deep into the I'm not sure if I'm saying this right, but it doesn't go into the cells, and because candida goes throughout your whole body. When you do a candida cleanse, usually from a health food store, it just usually does your stomach. So you have to do some investigation. Go on the internet. They cost a couple $100, but like I said, everything you eat, the chicken, every piece of meat, it has antibiotics, so it's destroying the flora of your stomach, and that's why most people have so much trouble with the disease.
What about fasting, like a 3-day fast? Would that do this?
That's good. That's a good way to cleanse. Yeah.
Okay, so that would cleanse it.
Yeah, I would do it. I would do an herbal cleanse as well because, like I said, you have to go into the deep parts of the cells to get it done. But yeah, but all this stuff helps. So
Now you're familiar with the stuff that we have, like the stuff that Daniel was talking about yesterday, the greens and the reds and stuff. So if you just say you did it like a 3-day cleanse and you drank this, would that still qualify? Would that be good or would that be bad? Would you be better just drinking water? What's your take on that?
well, I would guess it would be better because first of all, it's full of nutrition, and I'm not sure, but I think it has. Does it have probiotics in it? I don't remember.
I don't know if it
Uh,
does. I don't think it does have probiotics in it.
I mean, every little thing helps. Yeah, it would help. It would definitely make a difference
But it
because
would
you're not going to get the nutrition from conventional food. So the nutrition in the organic reds or greens make a big difference. Yeah.
Yeah, Jackson put down no probiotics. So yeah, so but anyways, but you'd be just cleansing out, but you wouldn't be starving yourself at the same time because you'd be getting your nutrition. So that probably would be a good thing.
Mhm. Well, I don't know much about fasting, but I've heard it does wonders for you. I've never really done one myself, but in fact, I might do one this week. I might do a salt fast because I think I'm going to go without salt for a couple days here and do that and see what that happens. But each body works in a different way, but there's a general path you can go down to get them done. But the biggest ones are you have to cleanse your body and get your mind in the right function so that you can start working out at a better level than you normally would.
Right, exactly. There's probably nothing you could do until you get your mind squared away to to a place where you want it to be, because it doesn't really matter because you're gonna revert back to old habits if you don't get your mind right, right?
Well, it's just like being an entrepreneur. You have to surround yourself with people that are in the fitness and health. If you're around those people, you'll start absorbing their mindset. That's what you have to do.
It starts to wear off on you, doesn't it?
Well, if your friends are fitness people and they see you eating garbage or see you, doing stuff, they're going to say, "Hey, what are you doing that for? Eat this," and then you're naturally evolate to. I can't think of the word. Sorry, you move to their level of fitness and stuff, and mindset.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like that with everything, with money. That's why you always say that the five people we surround ourselves with. So if you're hanging around like with a bunch of millionaires, you may not be a millionaire, but you're going to probably be going up towards to be one. You're going to be looking towards that, or you could be on a bunch of people who are skid row bums, and you might be the best skid row bum.
Well, that's the thing. They say if you're the smartest person in a room and you want to achieve bigger goals, you have to get around people that are doing much more success than you. So that makes a difference. So if you're telling all your friends how to live life and they're going, yeah, and they're taking notes, you need to get some new friends and start learning.
My father, who's always like real sarcastic, he's called me the smartest kid in the dumb room.
Yeah.
It wasn't a compliment.
I know how you feel.
But so Rick, so now what are you doing now then? Like right. So what are you doing right now? You said you're doing entrepreneurship. What are you doing?
Sure.
What can you share with them?
Well, back in when I first went on disability, I went to college and I was going into computer program, and I discovered financing with mortgages, and I got my mortgage license. I did that, and guess what? The economy died, and so I wasn't able to do mortgages anymore. So I got my license to do insurance. It was very hard for me to do because I can't mingle and I can't really stand in open spaces. When I stand, I have to lean against stuff, so it's hard to meet new customers. So then in I think 2008, I met somebody on Facebook, and they got me into MLMs or network marketing, and I've been doing that for the last several years, and I really enjoy it. It's you're able to work from home, work when you want to, and it's a much easier job and much more fulfilling, and it's easier to make money in this arena. So I do network marketing and internet sales basically.
So most of the things are online.
Yeah.
Stuff. Now a lot of people who get into that, they try it and then they say, well, it didn't work for me, and
Mhm.
they think it's some kind of a scam or something. What kind of advice would you give somebody who has that kind of an outcome?
Well, once again, you're programmed from your age of 2 to 18 to be a worker. You have to get the mindset of an entrepreneur. It's a much different take on the earth or the world. If you're used to getting a paycheck and you're scared not to get the paycheck, it's hard to become an entrepreneur. Most people, 99% of people who get in network marketing do it as a hobby. They're like, well, I'll dabble in it and see how it works. And if they don't make any money, they move on.
Right.
That's not the way you start a business. You start a business like anybody else would start a business, like Subway or something like that. You have to go all in or nothing. And it's not an easy thing to do. It's much easier than working a 40-hour week to learn how to do this. But the mindset has to change from worker to entrepreneur, and that's what you have to do.
And how do people get that mindset? Just say, oh, okay, I never did this before, but I want to do it, and I'm committed to doing it. So then, what would you tell somebody? What would be the next step?
The biggest thing is you have to get involved in the culture of network marketing. So you have to go to all the events and go listen to your company's websites and stuff like that, and get around people who are succeeding in that company and listen and get a mentor and get their advice is what you have to do.
Would that have to be? Would that be just specific towards network marketing, or could that be specific, or could that be general? Any kind of entrepreneurship sort of people hanging around?
That would be general. I mean, as long as you're around people that are doing well in what you're doing, you'll get better advice and you can take their words of wisdom. People that have already succeeded at it have already gone through the pitfalls of network marketing or business ownership. And if you do that, you'll have a much better chance of having success. You have to be involved in the culture. You have to read the books. You have to go to the webinars. You have to involve. And like I said, 99% of people get in network marketing, and they're at the lowest product level, and they'll talk to their 3 friends, and they're like, this ain't for me.
It didn't work.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and that's them trying it. And if you listen to Eric Worre, that's what they call a poser. So, and Eric Worre is one of the biggest network marketing trainers in the world. So.
Right. Yeah, he's a big. Yeah, Daniel Wenninger. Yesterday, he shared a story, and I put it in my blog, because every day I do a blog about the show. But he talked about this guy who was in he was in Amway, the Bob Britt. I guess he's passed away, I guess. But he said they asked him, he was on like one of those shows, 2020 or something like that. Like, what's your secret? Most people do this and they fail. So is this kind of a scam? What's the secret? It's not no secret. He said. I simply shared a plan with 1,200 people. 900 of those people said no. 300 people signed up. Out of the 300, only 85 did anything at all. And out of those 85, only 35 were serious. And out of those 35, 11 made him a multi-millionaire.
Yeah. See, people would think that if he didn't know the multimillionaire part, they would think he failed, because they think if he, what'd you say, 1,200 people? He talked to 1,200 people and only so much show up. They would equate that to failure, and they would quit, network marketing. They wouldn't continue to go until you whittle it down to 11 people, and that's where the mindset plays a big role. Exactly. So, because you're taught in school that if it isn't right, it's wrong. But what it really is you're learning how not to do it incorrectly. And that's the difference in the mindset sweep. Amazing. So the 1,200 people that didn't join, that was just practice for him to get the 11 people that did succeed. And it's true, most people who are in network marketing who are succeeding at that level only have 3 to 5 people who are producing they produce 90% of the sales in their network marketing team. So when people realize those numbers, it's easier to become a successful person.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Because if you go with the expectation, well, this is going to be easy, I'm going to nail this thing, and then it doesn't happen. It's so easy to quit at that point.
Well, they get the first 5 failures, and they're thinking, this ain't working.
No.
Because they don't understand that they have to talk to 20 people to get one person to watch the presentation. They have to talk to 50 people to get 2 people to watch the presentation. One person, it's a numbers game. And most people don't have the mindset of thinking outside the box. So when they see something like that, they don't see the opportunity. They see the level of difficulty. So it's a big difference. Yeah.
Exactly. That's so cool. That's what you said there is powerful. That's powerful information. It's all about just putting yourself in that frame of mindset. That's what I will do. I expect that to happen. So Rick, we are getting out of time here. How can people get a hold of you? What's the best way for people to connect with you?
You can go to my blog. It's rickjohnsonlive.com.
Okay, let me type that in here. Then I will put that in the video and inside of the blog as well.
Thank you, sir.
Probably couldn't get rickjohnson.com, could you?
No. I remember you said the other day that Bob Miller was hard to find. Try to get Rick Johnson.
Yeah, I'll just go get BobMiller.com. Yeah, we're right. There's like 8 of those people on my street.
Well, that's what people try to find me on Facebook. I go, well, Rick good luck. There's 40,000 Rick Johnsons. I normally have to give them my email address, but yeah.
Well, that's so cool. Hey, so Rick, so I will put all this information and anything else you send me. If you want to send me something, and I'll put it in the video description, and I'll put it inside of the blog and everything like that too. So, is there anything that you want to close with before we go?
Well, thank you for having me on the show. I really appreciate it. And if you're in network marketing and you're struggling, keep rocking. It's the gold is right around the corner.
Thanks, Rick. Really appreciate that. Great job. Okay, Rick, I'll talk to you soon, and keep posting those cool things in our syndication group.
All right, no problem.
Okay, talk to you later. Bye, guys.
Bye.